All right, today we're gonna be talking about some pet peeves. Everyone has pet peeves, you know, whether it's little things that really bug them, whether it's things that drive them crazy. You know, everyone has them. Some of them you can be subconscious about, while other ones you just really like, you know exactly like what it is that ticks you off. So I thought I'd just set up my camera and just complain about stuff that's happening with pop culture, you know, things happening in the entertainment industry that just really annoy me. So we're gonna kick it off with music. And I cannot stand when artists go through a whole process of, you know, the rollout for an album. You know, they even tease some of the people that are going to be featured on it, and it finally comes out, and you know, there might be like a feature or two that never really happened or whatever it is. Point is, they go through all that, and not even a week later, they're already dropping the deluxe of the album. And like, I don't know, I feel like it's really annoying because one, you know, you go through all this, you know, for this album, and you're already not confident in the body of work that it is, to then have the deluxe come out just with like more clutter just for the sake of boosting streaming stuff. Like I don't like I get it from, you know, like the label side, you know, the team behind, you know, they're trying to boost their numbers, whatever it is. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I just feel like it takes away from the album that just came out. Like, you put all this attention into putting together something, and now there's just like, oh yeah, here's some other stuff. Like, I think that stuff is great when it's like a whole year later, you know, like 2 years later. Like, oh, we're celebrating an anniversary, here's some bonus stuff that happened, you know, from this time. That stuff is cool, you know? But when it happens right when the album just came out, it's like, were you not confident in what you just put out? So now you're just throwing other stuff at the wall to see what else sticks? Like, I don't know why this happens. I don't know why it ticks me off so much. And I guess this kind of connects to my next one, but it's artists that craft playlists and call it an album. You know, I hate when there's this whole album that comes out, you know, you're hyped for it, and it ends up just feeling very disconnected. You know, if it has this feel, a specific topic, a specific look, whatever it is. If that is being portrayed, that's what's gonna be coming out, and then we just get this jumbled mess, I don't care. I don't care, you know, that, because then at the end of the day, there's, you know, one or two songs that stick with me. And I mean, that's the whole purpose of what they're trying to do. So I don't know, it just feels really weird. And I guess just kind of another more of a minor one, not like as like high annoyance as the other two, but it's just artists that just take so long to do their rollout when it comes to an album. Like, I feel like I've been seeing stuff about Playboi Carti and A$AP Rocky's new album for the last like couple years. I was probably still a teenager. Obviously, I get that there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes. You know, there's a lot of things we can't see. You know, the artist may not be able to control. It's other, you know, exterior factors that are happening. But it's just really annoying because it kills any momentum, especially, you know, you get leaks that happen. And I mean, that's a whole nother stuff, but it just sucks when we're just being strung along, and it's like, are we ever gonna get it? All right, now we're moving on to movies. And to start off, I mean, this is more of a common one, I will say, but just the whole stuff going on when it comes to nostalgia bait movies and these reboots, these remakes, you know, live action remakes, just all types of stuff that is taking previous IPs and doing a little, not even a twist, it's not even a spin on it. It ends up just being like a pivot. Yeah, it's not even anything that cool. It's still the same thing, but it's not the same thing, and it's bad. There's definitely ways to make it work. There are some good legacy sequels that have came out in the last couple years that really do work, and it feels original enough to be still set in the same context of the original work that it was. You know, if it was a movie, if it was a full-on trilogy, whatever it was, it still makes sense. And once again, too, you know, there's the live action remakes, and I don't understand why we're getting a Lilo and Stitch movie. Really? A Lilo and Stitch? We don't even, oh my gosh, it's just so dumb. It's so dumb. There's all these Lion King ones that have happened. I think there was a Dumbo one. I honestly don't keep up with them. And once again, I'm not trying to say I'm this like better person, you know, I don't keep up with this, because I do know that this is more of a general kind of opinion. This is something that has been talked about for probably the last decade or so. There's so many different ways you can do this type of stuff, and they always go the easy way out because they know that like the general audience is gonna go for it. But like, eventually it's only gonna get worse. I feel that as more and more time goes on, the general audience just simply is not gonna care. Even the people that they're really just trying to, you know, get the quick bucks out of them, even they are not gonna go to the theaters or rent it at home or subscribe to their own platforms or whatever it is too. It's just really tough to try to do these now without it feeling too gimmicky. You see these announcements of these people coming back together, they're working first time in the last couple of decades, but it's like, okay, that'd be a cool, you know, Super Bowl commercial. That'd be a cool SNL skit. But like, that isn't really something to put all this time and energy and money into, you know what I mean? And these specifically are the ones, because they're already using popular names and stuff like that behind them, they're the ones that are going to be having the kind of the typical conversations around, you know, in like real world settings. And this connects me to my next pet peeve of coworker movies. Coworker movies. I know this is more of a new term. If you know it, great. If you don't, it's basically just those movies that you see on like Facebook or whatever. Sometimes it's these like fake movies that you would never even think would even be a movie, but it ended up becoming a movie somehow. And from my own perspective, I feel like these are usually the ones that are like the streaming service exclusives, the Netflix originals, the Hulu originals. I'm not saying these are bad either. You know, that there are originals for every service that, you know, that they make some good stuff. But it's those random ones that just come out of nowhere, and then it's because it's the new movie on the service and everyone's watching it because it's new, ends up becoming their, oh, this is the new best movie on Netflix. Like, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's only like that because people are interested and people are gonna watch it anyway, you know? And like, those are the movies that end up being what's talked about. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much more stuff out there. And you know, that's another video I'm gonna be making in the future. There's so much stuff out there, but people are only gonna watch like the main kind of bubble that's even being pushed out there because of like how easy it is to even access it. I didn't have any movies that I was gonna specifically mention for this little point, but like that movie Amsterdam, I think it came out like what, 2-3 years ago. Stacked cast, super cool idea, all that stuff, but like that was not a real movie. You know what I mean? Or like what was the other one with like with Chris Evans? Red Notice or something like that. I don't know. Like, why? And I think the reason why it even annoys me so much is the fact that you have all this talent, you know, people behind the camera, in the editing rooms, in front of the camera. You have all types of people that are involved, and it's just being wasted, it feels like. You know what I mean? Like, those would make great YouTube videos. That could be a good little like low budget mid-tier thingy, but like you're pouring millions and millions into it just because it like you can. It's like, come on. And then the other little category of movies that I can't stand are the Oscar bait ones. You know, the ones that are just really trying too hard to appeal to the Academy because they know they can just eat up some awards and all that. This tends to happen a lot, I feel like, with like biopics, for example. A lot of period piece movies can be like this. You know, you have that movie Conclave that's nominated this year. I'm personally not really a fan of it. But yeah, I don't want to say they're industry plants because that's not at all like what this even is. But it's just those movies that are really just trying so hard. Like, it doesn't even feel like you're watching a movie. It feels like they're just trying to like check all the boxes. You know what I mean? And sometimes the movies aren't even that terrible. You know, sometimes they're solid movies still. But it's just that it feels so like lame. You know, it's like there's no sauce to it. You know, like they, as I said, they checked all the boxes. They did everything right. You know, it was good. But there was no like substance to make you feel like you actually enjoyed that movie. A lot of these things that I mentioned go back to that kind of mindset of, well, it's a business, all that. And that's why it sucks. That's why these are pet peeves, because it's like no matter, like that's just how it is. That's just how it is. And I don't know if, you know, as time goes on, you know, things like these are, you know, it's gonna get worse. And it feels like in the last like 5 years or so, there's just been so much different change, and both positive and negative, when it comes to all things media. And so it's so weird because I don't even know how stuff is gonna be in the next year already, but the next 5 years from now, like when it's 2030, like what's gonna be happening with all this stuff? Because I feel like a lot of the things that I mentioned today were stuff that are more prevalent from more recently than the course of like the last couple of decades. You know what I mean? So those are my pet peeves. Hope you enjoyed me complaining. Let me know if you guys have any pet peeves like that too. If you guys have any, you know, maybe you guys don't have pet peeves and I just sat here and complained and made a fool of myself, but it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's how I feel. Stuff annoys me. Thought I'd share it. Thanks for watching.